Welcome to another Behind the Lens with myself, Carl Daniels from KJD Photography. Just wanted to put a small video together just to show how using large modifiers in a small space. So the stuff I've got here in studio is we've got the UB165S with the front diffuser panel. We have an AD400 Pro, we have a AD300 Pro on the back, and our fill light, we've got also another AD300 Pro with the ADS85S softbox with the actual grid on the front. The backlight, I've just put a snoot on a AD300 with an orange gel just to give a bit of color onto the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down this setup. So what I wanted, or what I envisioned, was to have a shot where I want the light obviously to come nicely across the model's face, very soft shadows across the side of the face, next to the nose. Then also with the cap, I wanted to literally from the key light be able to light up certain part of the cap, and then the light would then fall off. Because we're shooting on low power, the light will be soft, the fall off will happen quite quickly. And then utilizing a fill light, complete the logo, put some light down on the side of the cap, on the side of the hair, and on the actual cap itself. The background light was just to put a very small kiss of light onto the background. So even though we're shooting on the white background, because with the settings and the setup I've got, I've actually been able to control the ambient light and any light spill from our modifiers onto the background. Okay, so literally the white background will become very close to black, if not black. Yeah, so in a setup like this, when I've actually envisioned it, I think, okay, let me see how each light is going to look. So then I would fire each light separately. So I'm going to show a couple of images as I explain this through. So we're going to start off with the background light. Now the background light, I just wanted, as I said, a very small amount of light just to break the blackness, not overpower the main image that I wanted to do. For me, you can change that up if you try this. I mean, you can make it brighter. So literally what I'm going to do is show you an image of just the background light. So as you can see from the image here, you can see it's a very slight amount of light that I've made to go into the background. And the reason I sort of break it down like this is so I can actually see what each light is actually doing. Is it doing what I wanted it to do? Is it actually going to actually be too overpowering? Is it going to be too under, or is it just right on what I envisioned? So literally doing each light separately, I can now see exactly where the lights are hitting and what it's going to do to compile the full image at the end of the day. So the next one I'm going to be looking at is actually the fill light. Now the fill light, so literally what this light was going to do was actually complete the logo. Put light down on the side of the cap, put light down on the side of the hair, just to create that separation as well on the background. It's slightly behind, the model's sort of in the middle of this light, but I needed it to actually fit in on the cap where I wanted it to be. If I have a look at the image from the actual fill light, there you can see it's just filling in on the top of the logo. It's putting light on the cap, and it's putting light down the hair. It's not putting any light in on the face of the model. Didn't want it to do that. This is what I wanted it to do. Then I took a shot with just the actual key light, your main light. So then I can actually see what is the actual main light doing. How far is this light spreading across the cap before the fill light comes in. So literally, from this shot you can see it's bringing across the face. There's some nice shadows on the nose and the side of the head. But also it's actually stopping here and the light's falling off. So I'm quite happy with that because my fill light is going to take care of that section of the portrait. So if we then look at all the lights on together, which will be this next image, so you can see everything that I've got set up here. This is what's going to compile the full last image. So there you go. So literally you've got your key light, you've got your fill light filling, and you get a very slight light in the background on the actual image. And you can do this with like 3/4 or just doing headshots. Obviously Dolly doesn't have much of a body, so I had to just use a head and good job. But try this type of setup at home. Find your biggest modifiers that you've got. Learn to actually even bring it quite close into your model or your mannequin, whatever you're going to use. Bring the power down, play around with that, get creative, and then see how you can adapt your own styles and stuff to it. But literally, don't be scared to use a big modifier in a small place. You can control the light. Between the way you position your lights and the way that you use, your camera, you can literally control this light quite easily. I mean, I shot these images. I've got big windows at the back of the studio where light comes in. I have other lights on in the studio, and I've managed to actually control the light to the point that the background, the white background, is black, and I'm only lighting up what I want to light up. So it's not impossible. Doesn't matter how big your studio is, how small your studio is, you can control your light. The list of equipment that I used, I will put in the description, whether it's below or above, depending on what platform you're watching on. If you are watching on YouTube, subscribe, follow us on Facebook if you're watching on Facebook. I'll also put our Instagram account in the description. Follow us on Instagram. We're also on TikTok. But yeah, try this at home. I'll be happy to sort of help if there's something that you came across that you weren't quite getting right. So thanks for watching. I hope this has given you some insight on how you can control light and be able to become masters of light. Because literally, as soon as you've mastered your light, you can do anything. Photography is light. Okay. And any questions, just fill them in below and we'll get back to you. And yeah, we look forward to hearing from you, and we'll see you soon.